going on, everybody? Hey, this is your boy JC from JC Eagles Talk, and I have one of the greats with me tonight to bless my live stream. I've been trying to get him on here, but family life, family come first, and then everything else. But tonight he had a little bit of free time. He's not going to be here for long, but he chose to come on my live stream, and I really appreciate him. So, without further ado, let me present Philly Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
What's going on? What's going on? I mean, you're doing good things over there. You just started and you're closing in on 200, all right? I believe.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk nothing but facts. So it's going to be a good show. I'm very excited to get going.
Yes, sir. And hey, if you've been watching this live stream, my live stream, and you already know we can't get started without the Philadelphia National Anthem. There's no better way to come into the live stream with this song playing, because you already know this year is Herp season and we about to sing this song a lot. So without further ado, let's get into it, my guy. Hey, look, I know it's been a long off season. We've been dying to talk about some stuff. I know we've been repeating ourselves, but tonight I feel like that I should go a little bit outside the box a little bit. All right. So the first one. Do you think the Eagle fans hate Howie less since the draft? It's a realistic question. I just want to know.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. We are a fan base that wears our heart on our sleeve. We're in the moment. You could be booing a guy in the next seconds, clap for a guy, because it's what you do on the field. And a lot of players who play in Philly long enough or know, and they thrive off that because they want the boos to encourage them. Man, I know I'm not doing good, and now I'm getting told by thousands. So the fans love it, and Howie Roseman knows it too. And I think even though he put us in a situation, his offseason moves, the draft, I think he was able to, regain some momentum. And it's really about this coaching staff and Hurts. And if the pieces he put around him go off, I think, Howie buys himself more time. Now, in the back of our heads, we're always going to have that. Will he make another big mistake? Will he overpay this guy or keep this guy too long? It's always going to be in the back of our heads. However, we come out and win this division, and Howie Roseman will be getting lifted up again, and rightfully so, because football is about what you've done for me lately. The Cowboys can't say that. And so with that being said, if we're going to use that against them, we got to keep it a buck in our system too. So let's see how all the pieces, how we put together on this retooling comes together.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because before the draft and free agency, I didn't see no one hell how we could redeem himself. I mean, he put us in cap hell, negative almost $76 million. The second worst team in the whole NFL. But some way, somehow he managed to get us out of it and still managed to get some key free agents like, the Wilson and the Harris and the Kerrigan. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. But with that being said, win or lose, do Howie Roseman stay or go? Because we all look, he got us up out of cap hell, but at the same time, he's been here for a long time. And the one thing that he's not good at is drafting players. He's good in free agency. He's good in trades. He's good in cap, creating, the cap space. But is he going to be like this next year? Because this was his best draft by far. So win or lose, what would it take for Howie Roseman to get out of town or stay?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think that he has such a tight knit relationship with Jeff Lurie. It's going to be hard, but I do think Jeff Lurie has a tolerance for losing football, a high tolerance, a low tolerance, I should say, for losing football, and so that can't keep happening. After the Super Bowl, we were on a decline year after year. We made a couple playoff pushes, but they weren't the same. They weren't feeling the same. We were just sliding through, and last year was a total collapse, and Howie Roseman was a part of the collapse. He was the only thing that survived. When you look at the situation, it's not about, win or lose. I think that you got to get football minds in here, and you got to make Jeff Lurie stress to Howie Roseman that football people have to make the decisions. When you look at Howie Roseman, his relationship with the players are not what we want, whether it's him arguing with Lane Johnson, the bad blood against Carson Wentz, whether we like Carson or not, if he was the guy, you still don't want that ill will. Yeah. I think you got to keep Howie around for what he can do, but you got to get a football mind in here. And if you got a football mind in there, then I think, it could work out. But if you let Howie run the whole thing, we're going to continuously find ourselves in these situations where it's like, wow, you fixed the cap, but you drafted this guy. You fixed the cap, but you drafted this guy. And you need the draft to go well if you're going to rebuild the right way. So I think you need a football.
So where would you put him in the organization? What would he do? Because some people think that he should dress strictly finance. Cap space and stuff like that. And we could hire a new GM. So where would you put him within the organization?
I could leave him where he's at. If he wants that title, if that's a big deal for him, it is what it is. Look what happened with Deuce Staley. He got a bunch of titles, but he never really moved up in the ranks. Look, when Joe Douglas was here, Joe Douglas was on the front lines for some of the things. Now, maybe it was still Howie, but he was getting the blame, and we thought things were going to change when he left. And now we ultimately see that Howie wasn't the guy, especially when you look at last year's draft and things of that sort. Not last year, the year before that. Taking Rager over Jefferson, even though I do think Rager will be better than what he was last year, of course. But if you get a guy like when John Dorsey was here for that little bit of time in the offseason, I was like, all right, football mind. He done rebuilt the Cleveland Browns and put them in playoff contention dang near himself. So if you get a guy like John Dorsey in here who has a firm voice in any organization he's in, Howie Roseman's going to fall in line because he's not going to want to look like that dog that can get put in the corner like he was with Chip.
I think
I was okay with that. You can have a guy come in here and be under Howie, but still be the football mind, and I think things will go the right way.
Yeah, I agree. But you need the right person in here, though. The one person that comes into my mind is Louis Riddick. Philly fans been hollering for him to try to come back to the Philadelphia Eagles. He used to be in the Philadelphia Eagles way back in the day. So, we try to get him back in the GM role. But I really think that Jeffrey Lurie is an undercover Jerry Jones. He don't want to be out front with it. He's not out front with the interviews, talking to the players and stuff. He got Howie Roseman, to do that for him. But we see Howie as a bad guy because Jeffrey, is not up front. At least, Jerry Jones is he want to be the coach, the GM, offensive coordinator, the medical staff. He give you injury reports. At least he's up front with it. I think Jeffrey Lurie, he don't want to get the backlash from the fans. So I think he's going to keep Howie around as long as he don't completely burn down this organization.
And that makes you think, though, how is it really Howie? Because every time Howie puts himself in a corner, he digs himself out. Whether it was a decent draft we had this year, he digs himself out. So how much is it Jeff Lurie overstepping his boundaries, which really there's no boundary. He's the owner. He can do what he wants. But once you listen, if I have a company and I make you CEO, it's because I trust you to run the organization. You know what I mean? I'm going to give my thoughts, but I'm not going to oversee you, or why am I paying you these bucks? With that being said, Who's to say that Jeff Lurie ain't making the wrong decisions and having Howie cleaning up and we're thinking he's doing both? I don't know. The thing is, we don't have transparency in the organization, and he's seen it go down. The Doug Peterson, Howie Roseman, Jeff Lurie, Carson Wentz, them four together have been such a disaster. We don't know who's telling the truth, and we're only going to see the difference if we see now a new head coach, now a new quarterback. The two other pieces are the same. You're going to start to weed out what was the right thing and the wrong thing. Is it Howie? Is it Lurie? Was it Doug? Was it Carson? And we're going to see a little bit more in 2021, and hopefully we got a winning recipe.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. A coach that brought you your first Lombardi trophy, a quarterback that played a big role, your backup that played a big role, your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, everybody's gone. But there's only two people that stay the same, the owner and Howie. So hey, we could only find out this year if the same thing keeps happening, then Howie really needs to go. But if things just start changing around, I give him another year because he put us in this position, and I feel like that he's the only one that could get us out of it. Because hey, Fletcher Cox a contract, $15 million 1 year and then $16 million the following year. So I mean, he's gonna have to try to figure out how to keep pushing it back or trade him something, because we only getting younger, not older. So he got some big decisions to make, coming up. So I mean, I don't know who would want to come to Philly in this type of situation, the cap space. True. Even though next year we'll have about $40+ million with 3 first-round draft pick, but you still got that money that you've been pushing aside for 3-4 years. That's eventually going to come back and bite you in the ass. So.
That's true, and you got to watch that. And I'm not for the kick the can down the line all the time, but if there was ever a time to do it, it was the year that COVID dropped it 10-15 million instead of it going up 10-15 million. And I think we'll be in better shape. Guys like Lane Johnson and Fletcher, solely because of their money, they might not be able to be on the team, and that's why we have to accumulate draft picks and hit on our drafts. And it's very important that Jalen Hurts is the guy so we actually can rebuild, because Slay, McLeod, Brooks, Lane, Fletch, Graham, Kerrigan, these are big names that might not be here in the next 2 to 3. They'll be here this year.
Exactly.
They might be here next year, but 3 years from now they won't. And you need your draftees to really fill them spots. You can sprinkle in a free agent here or there, but it's going to be interesting. And like I said, so far so good. Here comes August.
All right, hey, before we move on, hey, shout out to people in the chat: Brenda, YCTA, 5 across your lips. Ethan,
that's my guy.
Coach Dante. Hey, shout out to all y'all. Thank you for coming into the stream. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if some way, somehow, you don't know who I'm talking to, and you're not subscribed to his channel, this is Philly Mike, aka one of the legends. Please subscribe to his channel, because he dropped Philly, Eagles, Sixers, everything. So he's one of the greats, that only paving the way for us that's coming up into the YouTube world. Let's move on to the next question. All right. How worried are you that Landon Dickerson hasn't signed his rookie deal? Is it injury or is it a money issue?
It's really hard to say, because I really didn't snoop around, but I haven't heard any glamour things. And, Philly likes to let things out there. And I haven't heard too much, but when you look at the injury, we have a lot of time. There is a couple money things that are in the way. We still got to see what we're going to do with Zach Ertz. And there could be possible trade pieces on this team, even like a guy like Derek Barnett, who's $10 million with his 5th-year option. You never know. So I think it's Howie Roseman just not jumping the gun, just making sure he can cross his T's and dot his I's, because if it's, $1 million here or there that we can finagle on a Landon Dickerson deal, whether we, put it in a bonus or whatever it could be, that could be the difference in just getting enough money to get a CB2 to do something that can enhance his team. And you also got to take account of training camp. If people who we thought were going to play a big role ain't, and or injuries, you got to have that money. Like, look, the Rams, they say they're not going to go get another running back, but they might be in the market for a running back after Cam Akers tears his what is it, ACL or Achilles. So it's tough, and you got to have that availability as well. So I hope it's nothing big. You don't really see second round pick trying to do that. I don't want to sign for this team. He seemed cool. I saw a couple interviews. I just think it's just a wait and see situation.
So real quick, so if he doesn't sign, so does he go back into the draft next year or no?
I'm actually not exactly sure. I don't think that is what would happen. But he's going to sign. The Philadelphia Eagles never allowed that. And if it was an issue that was that hot or anticipating, there'd be more talking with all the beat writers, all these little, the John Clarks and all these guys. They would have got some leak to the fact that, maybe Landon Dickerson won't be a Philadelphia Eagle. But I just think they're just crossing. I mean, what we were able to do, signing the guys we signed and just getting under the cap was extraordinary. We got most of our rookies signed, and I think we'll follow suit. He will follow suit soon enough.
Yeah, I just think that is the whole the Zach Ertz issue, man. I really think Zach Ertz is holding up the whole organization hostage. Like, I mean, with the whole CB2 out there, we can't visit. I really think it's a money issue with Dickerson, because I feel like that he thought if he did not get hurt 3-4 months before the draft, that he probably would have been in the first round. So he probably trying to get paid like the first round, maybe, because we see how later on down the road.
It's slotted how much money you can make. Like,
exactly.
You can't give him any more. Can't give him any less for what that draft pick is. I think what you can do is say we're going to give this in signing bonus, this in incentives. And so that's the only thing that could be, I guess, discussed. But it's slotted. You can't be like, wow, but look what like Devontae Smith can't talk about his Heisman. He said, I'm the 10th overall pick. I get paid as a 10th overall pick. That's why you see these guys who get drafted first overall to the Jags. Yeah, it's to the Jags, but they got that number 1 draft pick gets paid. Yeah. He actually gets money. You got a guy like Jalen Hurts, who for 4 years, he's going to make a total of $5 million. And you got Joe Burrows, who made in 4 or 5 years, $30 million. Big difference.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's frustrating because I think we probably had like one guy that started training camp without being signed or like close to training camp. But I can remember because they can't even participate. If like when training camp start, I don't think they could participate, could they?
I don't know the exact things. Maybe I know like maybe they can get out and do some walkthroughs, but he can't be, I guess, considered a member of the team in training camp. But with the injury, I don't think he was going to practice much anyways. There's question that he can be back to start the season, but not this early.
Okay, all right. Hey, are you concerned about our bye week being so late? And are you worried about our old veterans? Look, I'm not worried about the young guys. Like, they want to continue playing every day, every second. But we do got some veterans, the Kelseys, the Cox, the Lane Johnson, the Brendan Brooks that are coming off injury. Like, I mean, Slay and McLeod. So we do have a mixture. So are you concerned about our bye week being so late?
I am, because, the NFL season, whether you're young or old, well, even when you're young, but definitely when you're old, is a long, drawn out season. It's only, every week, but the thing that these guys go through, the hits, the treatment, it's long. You see the rookies who, they get around week 13, week 12, and they feel like they hit the wall because that's when their season will end. So it's going to be it's going to be hard. That bye week can do so much for your body, for your mental, and it could get you out of sticky situation. If you your bye weeks in the middle of the season, you take 2 tough losses, you can really regroup and reset and get back at it. And like you said, the older guys that we have are going to definitely feel it. And health hasn't been our friend. You know what I mean?
No.
So that is just, a horrible decision by the NFL, constantly putting no respect on our name, kind of just looking at us like, yeah, well, it's the Eagles. Let's throw them over here. But hopefully we make them regret that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel you, man. But at the same time, I feel like we are in a perfect situation because I think we have a mixture of young and old, but at the same time, we do have some quality backups. So, hey, if one of the old guys need a break and maybe one Sunday or play minimal snaps, hey, we got backups that literally played more than the starters last year because of all the injuries we had. And plus, remember, we do got that 10-day off because we play on a Thursday. The Buccaneers, we played, Thursday night football and got that little mini bye. So that might help a little bit. And then once we come off the bye, it's all divisional games. Like we're gonna be well rested to possibly make that playoff push. So it's kind of a mixture. So I mean, I try to look at it as a bright side. And also there's stats out there. The last 4 Super Bowl winners literally had the latest bye ever. Like either week 12 bye, week 13 bye, even the week that the year that we won the Super Bowl. I think we had a week 12 bye or something like that. But it's let's see.
What is the week? When is our bye again this year? 13? No.
Week 14. Wait. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. So week 14 is our bye and then we play the season is almost over with, but we have 4 more games. Hey, you know how to Philly do it late, but hopefully with all the negativity this year that they could start early and not have to worry about a late playoff push. And when that week 14 bye comes in, we play Washington, Giants, Washington, Dallas.
If we get to our bye week, a game or 2 out, I feel real good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, look, I agree with you, man. Look, hey, Ethan, I'd rather see the bye week in the middle of the season. In this case, though, with the rest of our games being in the East, after the bye week, I'm on board with it. I mean, you can look at it 2 ways. I mean, hey, you could say it's a blessing in disguise because the last few years, the Philadelphia, it's a last-minute push, man. Even last year, if we didn't lose to Dallas, we would have been the division champs because we would have beat Washington. Like, we would not pull our starters. That would have been 4 straight years in the playoff, Super Bowl, playoffs. So I'm saying
it was a blessing, though. It was a blessing, though, to get what we got from it. Like at the moment when I was doing the content, I was like, hey, we got to get Dallas, and then I was hurt, and then things came around, and now it's time to make the push.
Hey, once we lost to Dallas, man, I was like, hey, there's no need to win against Washington because what killed us the previous draft? We was 3 spots down from Dallas, and they draft CeeDee Lamb. If only we had 3 slots higher. So we went from 9 to 6 because we lost that last game, which got us, a first-round pick and Devontae Smith. Somehow the magic happens, and I think the stars was aligned, and we got Devontae Smith. So, hey, who knows? But, hey, Philly is known for a late playoff push, but for some odd reason, I have a feeling that this year they're going to start off strong. One, they have a couple advantages. Nobody know what JG going to call Jonathan Gannon, and nobody know what Nick going to call because there's no real set plays out there, no playbook to go look at. So you don't know what you're preparing for. So I feel like if we come out the gate strong, hey, the first 6 games go 3-3, we're in good shape. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. With our first
6. Yeah, we're going to win some games we're not supposed to win, and we're going to lose some games that we ain't supposed to lose. But I feel like if we could be 3-3, with the Bucks in there, with the Chiefs in there, with Dallas in there.
Niners.
Yeah, the Niners in there, the Falcons in there, and I believe Panthers. So if we could go 3-3, hey, we looking good.
Oh yeah, see the outside world who probably don't see our schedule come week 6. They're not really understanding we played the 2 Super Bowl teams. So like the Eagles are 3-3 and they're celebrating. Yes, I will be.
Absolutely.
Yes, I will be, because it gets easy. There's nothing harder than that first 6 weeks.
Yeah. Including the Dallas, because hey, that's one division game. Because I got us losing to Dallas. So if we some way somehow beat Dallas the first 3, like week 3, I got us winning that last game at home. No, it's against Dallas. So if we could manage to squeak by Dallas in week 3, there's no way we should not either win the division or be in contention for a wild card. But there's no way.
If we go 3-3 in that first set of 6, I will be claiming, there's no way we will not be out of contention for that division the rest of the year. Now, again, I need context. If I'm 2-4, if I'm 1-5, I'm feeling down. But how did the 1-5 happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How close were we? Were we in it or not? Like getting our head beat in.
A decent football team still. And 1-5, can you rattle all 4 straight to go to 5-5? Depending on who your next one with the Raiders, Lions, and all that stuff. So it's going to be interesting. Jets, we're going to get tested ASAP, Rocky.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So with that being said, give me your take on the joint practice for the Jets and the Patriots.
It's something that the Eagles always do. We've always been a joint practice team, whether it's with the Baltimore Ravens, the Patriots we do a lot with. It's just good to get that back for the simple fact that, last year, no real training camp, at least not being reported on, no preseason. So it's good. And yes, whenever you're going against somebody else, you're going to give it a lot more. You know what I mean? Whether you see a guy on the roster that you want on the roster, you think he's good, so you let up a little bit. The other guy on the Patriots team who's trying to get a spot ain't going to. It's going to be dog versus dog, and I like that. It brings out the best in everybody. Iron sharpens iron, and I just think that we got to see these guys compete. It's been such a weird football season. I think this is going to, and the young guys are going to get a lot from this. Like even the guys from last year, the Jalen Reagors, the Davion Taylor, Sean Bradley's, Kevon Wallace's, all that stuff. And so I like it. I'm just ready to see some competitive football, fans in the stands, and I'm going to be up in there eventually too.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like it. Unlike the previous years where if we was going against the Ravens, like back in the day with Lewis and Ed Reed, I'm like, oh, hell no. Because they're going to try to hurt somebody, man. Hey, I ain't got time for people to get hurt, man. Especially with the Eagles injuries, man. Every year we start off with a disadvantage. Like some way, somehow. Like even before training camp even started, Brendan Brooks went down just working out on his own. Like he tore his Achilles. Like, come on. Like, so I just want us to just stay healthy. But what's concerning me is this: who gonna be out there to prove themselves? Like, on either team. Oh, I can stick you and start talking trash. You know how, even though it's a little, scrimmage and stuff like that. But if you play football on that field, and regardless if they say 60% or not, once you start talking across and from each other, and you line up against the wide receiver DB, man, it's all out the window. And you forget what they say, 60%. And you start going 100%. Exactly. So that's the only thing, I'm kind of afraid of. But with Bill Belichick, I think that he's a smart enough coach that he would say, hey, look, guys, last year we sucked because, hey, half our team, opted out for COVID, and I spent over $200 million. Calm down. This is just a scrimmage. The real game will come. Just calm down. And let's just see if our plays are working, if our defensive schemes is working, and stuff like that. But
the guys that got to go hard, or the guys who are on the fringe bubble. So again, we got 90 players on the squad right now, 53-man roster. There's going to be a handful, a nice 35 to 40 guys who are like, you know what, I got to give it my all no matter what. But they know that to give it their all on another guy who got to give it their all. They're not going to try to bully up a guy like Slay, knowing that you injure him or something is going to be the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I agree. And this right here, oh my God, man, I hope this is not a trend. Cam Akers how would you handle the Eagles players at training camp? I know Nick is talking about hitting and going all out and stuff like that. But this is before training camp. Now, it reminded me of when Brendan Bruce got hurt, like right before training camp started, and then it just started rolling down the hill. Like big name guys just started getting hurt, like in every team. So with this being the first key blow for the Rams, he was projected to be the starter. So how worried are you that at training camp, that especially with the Eagles, that we are going to start seeing people get injured, or like, man, how would you tailor the training camp or the scrimmages or practice, whatever?
I'm ready to go hard for the simple fact I think Doug Peterson, being the player coach he was, I think he gave them a little bit too many days of non-contact. And so when stuff got real, I don't think they were informed to handle it. Again, you got your red shirt quarterback, don't do anything crazy. But I think because we didn't do the 7-on-7s and we were staying more with the positional groups and dealing with the fundamentals, it's time to get the pads on. It's time to make some hits. Listen, if it's a non-contact injury, then it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
I hate to see him. And in today's game, with these guys who are just, they move so fast and they do so much, the non-contact injuries at an all-time high because a linebacker back in the day wasn't running for a 3. A 6'2" wide receiver wasn't running for a 3. Like if you were big, you were slow. If you were small, you were fast, and that's what it was. Nowadays, there's so many just freak athletes in a good way. Like what freak? I haven't seen it. That they hurting themselves and stuff. So I just think we got to go out there and let it rip. The injuries happened with Doug, and Doug was a play it safe guy. And so I'm willing to just do the exact opposite. I'm not saying Doug caused injuries. I do not know what it was, but 5 years with him being a coach, the rookie season of him and Carson were the healthiest? Other than that, every single season. Key players, whether they were old or new, whether they were old or young, or new or old. Malik Jackson never got hurt, comes here hurt. Hargrave comes here hurt. Howard 3 years straight as a battle, as a guy who just goes up the middle, a stinger for multiple weeks. Look at this. We let a guy go in what's the linebacker's name? Jordan Hicks. And he becomes healthy for back-to-back seasons. So
absolutely,
it's a tale that if you put Midnight Green on, you were hurt. If you took it off, you were good. And I'm hoping that a new coaching staff and a new regime just changes that in its totality.
Yeah, our best season, honest truth, after the 2016 season, Doug Pearson and Carson Wentz's rookie year, was the following season, and Doug went to hitting. We went into that season healthy. During that season, that's when Peters went down. You know what I mean? In a game. And Sproles got cheap shotted by the freaking Washington football team. Marigos went down. Hicks went down. Carson Wentz, he dove in the end zone, a fluke accident. Two people tackled him. He tore his ACL. So it was all during the game. But we went into the season healthy. We didn't come into the season banged up and stuff like that. But the previous years, it seemed like as soon as we won that Super Bowl, we went into the season, every season, hey guys, all right, hey, we just trying, hey, be healthy, calm down.
We sold our souls for that Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Hey, was it worth it? I don't know. Hey, we got a Dallas Cowboy fan up in here, right there. Hey, was it worth it? Hey, ask them. It's been 26 years in counting, so I don't know.
It was.
So, and we'll see. I love the mindset. You cannot go into, a training camp saying, oh, man, I hope I don't get hurt. Because that's the first place you get hurt is your mindset. And then, and then your body follows. You know what I mean? Because I'm one of those guys. The minute somebody else is sick next to me, I'm like, please, I hope I don't get hurt. And then I get sick because I don't put it in my mind, and now I'm sick. So the first thing you could do is hey, you just gotta go and just ball out and just hope for the best. You know what I mean? So a non-contact injury, like you said, will happen regardless. You know what I mean? So you could be walking up your stairs and click, it goes out. So it will happen, man. So hey, let's just hope it don't happen to none of ours. Yo, just speaking of injuries, right? Since we do got a Dallas Cowboy fan in here, I mean, Dak hasn't been cleared yet. All right, he hasn't been cleared to go into practice and all that good stuff. So Carson Wentz tried to come back so fast because all the Nick Foles hype and praise. So he tried to come back fast. So do you think the Dallas Cowboys will be making a mistake if they try to just roll Dak out after a serious ankle injury? Like literally, I saw the bone. I was looking at the bone.
I mean, when I look at it, see, tearing the ligament and tearing bone are differently, you know what I mean? And it was a clean tear. It was nasty, but it was clean. And supposedly the surgery went well. We got to remember that it was week 3, week 4, so it was early in the season.
Well, there were 1-3, and those went against the Giants. So they could have been 2-3 if they won that game. So it was like week 5.
And so look, I don't wish injury on nobody. I hate the Cowboys with a passion, but I don't wish injury on nobody. But listen, roll him out. Let's see what he got. Because it's a bone, though, I think legitly he has a better chance. I think he has to get over the mindset, though. Whenever he scrambles outside the pocket, is he going to be looking behind his shoulder? Is he going to be playing scared? That's all things we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I agree. And hey, once again, Joe, hey, man, as long as Jerry's in charge, we ain't winning shit. And that's a Cowboy fan, die hard. Yo, you should see his house. Nothing but them Cowboys. I know this guy since 2013. You know what I mean? Hey, we always got beef. But some way, somehow, some days he's realistic and some seasons he's not. So I guess this season, hey, he's trying to temper his expectations. But thank you for joining my live, my brother. Thank you for supporting your boy. Okay? Hey, let's move on, man. So what is one team in the division besides the Eagles that you will pick to win the NFC East? Come on, man. Hey.
Yeah, so if I am betting money,
okay, it's gonna be good, interesting.
I'm kind of like twitching because he even do this. If I'm betting money, and I'm a gambling man, and if I really looked at the division, see, let me just give you my thoughts, my legit thoughts real quick. The Cowboys are on paper. They got a good team. Their defense is still suspect, but their offense should be able to carry them. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, you're never going to hear me say, I don't care about CeeDee Lamb. That guy is going to be the best receiver on the Cowboys. If not this year, next year, he's going to be better than Amari, and he's going to be better than Gallup. This dude is legit. He's going to be, I'm telling you, CeeDee Lamb was that dude. He's going to be a monster. I'm disgusted about that. But their defense is concerned, and I don't know. I mean, Cowboys do what Cowboys do. They're paper champs since Dak Prescott took the lead. Romo had some good squads. Dak had some good squads, and they always find themselves 8-8. Somebody said to me today on Twitter, 4,900 yards for Dak. I said, y'all went 8-8 the year that Dak was healthy. He said 4,900 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, and Zeke had 1,300. I said, okay, let me do the math. 4,900, 30, 13, that equals 8-8, huh? So Cowboys do Cowboys things, but they got the best roster. Giants built around Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones is legit trash, and that's not my bias. If you put up a stat line in your second year, which normally is your better year as a quarterback, look at Kyler Murray, look at all the guys.
And Carson Wentz,
11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, no. And in Washington, love their defense, love the additions. They can run the ball. They got a tough coach, but Fitzpatrick is a 8-week, 6-week quarterback. I don't know. Yeah. So right now, I would have to say Dallas.
See, I'm going another way because I believe defense wins championships. Last year, you saw it.
They win championships, but not divisions.
Hey, and lastly, you saw it.
Yeah.
Dallas will put up some points, but their defense was so disappointing. Like they were like in Cowboys history, that was the worst team defensively that they had in their history. So their defense is trash. The Giants, Daniel Jones, fumble. Like, yo, yes, their defense is solid, but if your quarterback is constantly turning the ball over, like we saw this last year with Carson Wentz, there was so many games where our defense, the first half or the first quarter, we was in it. We was in it. But after a while, they get tired because your quarterback keep turning the ball over or like 3 and outs, 3 and outs, 3 and outs. So I'm picking the Washington football team because their defense to me, like they will wreak havoc on any team because they got all first round picks on that team. Yo, out of 11 guys, at least 7 of them are first round picks. Yo, you playing with the all-star first round pick team there on defense. So if Fitzpatrick, Fitzmagic, Fitztragic could just manage the game. I mean, they got a stud in the backfield in Gibson. Yo, they got Scary Terry. Yo, they got
Samuels. They added Curtis Samuels.
They still got Logan Thomas. So they have a decent offensive team where if only Fitzpatrick do not put him in harm's way, that they could hang in there. But the thing is, are they going to be like Ron Rivera loves to run the ball? He loves to run the ball. If I was Ron Rivera, I would start Heineken the first 6-7 weeks and let Fitzpatrick come in there the last. Because like you said, he's not a starting quarterback. So pick your poison. Hey, do you want to start strong and finish strong? Or do you want to, start wrong and finish strong? I mean, it's just one of them things where you have to make up your like Nick Foles. Yo, I would never start Nick Foles for 16, 17 games. I'm sorry. He's not
gonna get it done.
I would miss 5 games, Nick. Here you go. Hey, I'll start 5 games, take us to the promised land. But like seriously, so I really think that Washington, if Fitzpatrick don't put him in harm's way, based on their defense and the defensive back that they picked up, shoot, I forgot that dude.
I know who you're talking about. What's his name? From the
I think man.
Now
but whatever it is, but he's good though. He drafted, for real, that was a key pickup for them. Like seriously. So, and then you got Collins at safety. I mean, that team is legit. If only Fitzpatrick don't put him in harm's way, man.
Yeah, but see, and this is what I think about Fitzpatrick, though. He got the gunslinger mindset. He's going to make some mistakes.
Yes.
Come on down. Look at Miami's roster. Miami's roster is good. Miami's roster is probably a little bit better than Washington, and he kept him afloat. Like, he was doing good, but he had some games where it's like, I mean, it's going to be tough. I just think that the Cowboys have the best team on paper. Washington could definitely get some smoke. It would go Dallas, Washington, Giants if I can't include the Eagles. That's what I would say. But, yeah, Washington can do it. It's a defensive league, right? I believe it is too, but it's definitely tailoring itself to an offensive game.
Look at Tampa Bay. How did they win the Super Bowl? Their defense. Yo, Patrick Mahomes' line was trash. Well, because, half of them was hurt. So, hey, Tampa Bay defense made them win that Super Bowl.
They came clutch late, but Tampa Bay also won some shootouts throughout the season. So, like, listen, Tom Brady, AB, Mike Evans, Gronk, Chris Godwin, all them. That's not a sloppy offense by any means.
hey, they still lost some games though. Hey, they still lost to teams that had front four, like the Chicago, like Kansas City. I think they lost to the Rams.
Yeah,
Mac, Donald. You know what I mean? Those guys would get pressure up front. So defensive line. Cowboys, I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, and I agree, but the no-name team has the off. Yeah. I mean, hey, good luck, Cowboys. And we're going to have to win at least 4 minimum win the division. If not, we're going nowhere. Shoot, you ain't going nowhere anyway. So, I mean, all right. So, look. Hey, the new banner got put up. How do you feel about the new banner outside the lane? Because I got my opinion. Oh my. Okay, go ahead.
Look, I love Nick Foles for the Super Bowl and all that stuff, but we gotta be looking to the future. We can't be listen, Carson Wentz was a franchise guy. Okay, he's not here no more. We took it down. I understand another guy is not here no more just because he had a good moment and you try to be slick and only put the hands like we know whose hands they are.
Yo, this ain't no damn fingernail commercial, like no, a manicure. Hey,
we know who hand they are. You gotta put someone new. You gotta put someone new. Put Howie Roseman on the damn thing right now. I'm just kidding. But real talk though, like I was just like, come on, it's kind of petty. It's like, y'all forgot that we are Super Bowl champs. It's a new era in Philly. If you want to get a guy on there, like look at a guy on the roster that you believe in, that you're gonna invest in long term and put Nick to just do something different. I mean, that's just put 2017 or 2018 world champs. Do that so you can recognize a team, but don't put Nick Foles' hands trying to be cute, cutting it off right here like we don't see the sleeve.
Yo, all right, look, I don't like it because once again, we lost the division last year. We finished bottom last. But we rose a banner on the outside of the stadium like we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We literally put up let's raise the banner, like we won.
Don't forget about the 4-11.
Like what are you trying to say? I mean, is it like, hey, is Jeffrey and Howie hearing all the experts so-called, calling us, last place in the division, we're trash. Maybe that could be a motivation factor, but I would have put up Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, together, coach and quarterback, because that's what you need. You want to feel like, hey, you know what? I got the right coach. That's my quarterback. Hey, you could change the banner next year.
Because it's an outside banner. It's something you can see driving by. Yeah. Look at Cortarius said put BG up there. Put anybody on the active roster. Stop
somebody.
Nick Foles got a statue. That's good enough.
Yo, I tweeted that out today. I'm like, really? Y'all gonna put we don't see Nick Foles' hands? The statue outside the stadium wasn't enough? Come on.
Oh,
that makes no sense to me, man. Absolutely no sense. But I would have put Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts because there's no way to go into the season, the coach you hire, and the quarterback that's fighting for his life. Because I feel like if Jalen Hurts don't make it with the Philadelphia Eagles, he will never be a starter again. I feel like because nobody see him as a starter. Everybody see him as a backup. You know what I mean? So this is his moment to shine. We saw, when you undermine your quarterback, how, I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts' mindset is weak or nothing like that, like Carson Wentz, because as soon as they drafted Jalen Hurts, he was done. Carson Wentz season was over that night they drafted Jalen Hurts. Period.
Jalen Hurts a dog though. He don't give a bleep.
That's what I'm saying. We saw him in Alabama. He lost his job. They told him go back in. He made him win a couple more games. After that season, he went to Oklahoma, balled out, brought him to the playoffs, Heisman runner-up. I mean, his mindset is way different than Carson Wentz. So hey, why not just boost it up a little bit more? Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, outside the stadium, you driving by, you already know who's in charge, who run they. You know what I mean? So, but we'll see, man. I don't know.
Somebody who don't watch football, what the Eagles won a Super Bowl last year?
What? Yeah, it was oh my God, that wasn't there last year. Oh my God, hey, did they win? Nah, yeah, 4 years ago, buddy. 4 years ago. All right. Hey, my last question for you, my guy. Look. Stephen Nelson on Twitter today or tomorrow. Stay tuned. Look, I'm hoping that Howie is going to shock the Philadelphia Eagle fan base, and this is what he means, that he's about to sign a contract with the Philadelphia Eagles. But I mean, there's a little thing that said that he might go back to the Steelers, but I'm just hoping that this means that he's coming to the Eagles tomorrow. We'll see, but that's my hope. But he only is asking for over $3 million for 1 year, just like $3-4 million. If we give him $3-4 million, we could sign this guy. But we need to get rid of Zach. See, I told you, man, Zach Ertz is holding the Eagles hostage, man. We can't do nothing.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. I don't think we have the money right now to do it. Unless it's like
$4 million.
Yeah, we need to clear Zach off.
That's pathetic.
And so with that being said, it's like he's hinting, but again, I hate all these cryptic texts and stuff like that from these guys, especially when we're in limbo. It's like, what is Nelson gonna do? He was flirting with Darius Slay, Paul, doing all that stuff, liking Eagle stuff left and right, talking to Eagles. Eagles just Twittered like, yeah, tell him to come get me. And again, he's not a world changer, but not only will he be the best person on the outside for the job over Avonte Maddox and McPherson? Listen, if one injury happens to the secondary, what happens? So you just need to get a guy for depth purposes, because you did. Josiah Scott, 4th round pick 2 years ago. Meadows from the Vikings, 4th or 5th round pick a couple years ago, barely played. You're taking guys that are on other people's practice squads. Vikings defense wasn't good. Jags defense wasn't good. And if they don't run them, I mean, you never know. A guy changes story, but come on now. Let's be honest. They're not really going to. So if your depth is worse than Avonte Maddox and McPherson, your depth is not depth. It's like, I don't know what it is. So with that being said, you got to do what you got to do. And TA, let me just comment on that. Listen, Zach Ertz is one of my all-time favorite Eagles. I've seen a lot of great ones come and go, being 30. I'm not the oldest, I'm not the youngest. At the end of the day, the shield's going to stay the same. I'm always going to remember what Zach Ertz did, but really, Zach Ertz doesn't want to be here. So at the end of the day, it's going to help the Eagles. It's going to help the shield right there. And it's going to help Zach Ertz because he got 3 years of quality football he can play, especially if he goes to a team with a Stephon Diggs, a number 1 wide receiver on the outside. We're going to see, and we're going to be like, wow, you see what he's doing? There's a difference. We got one now, but it's too late. For the last 3 years in his prime, we didn't put a number 1 wide receiver on the side of Zach Ertz, and he got the bracket coverage. He got the double team, which means the wide receivers should have ate. And the only reason they ate a little bit, because these are no-name wide receivers, is because of Zach on the field. And so he deserves a fresh start too. So I think it's just bad blood between him and Howie. Whether it's Zach's fault or Howie's fault, it doesn't matter now. I think you just sever ties, get that $8 million, finish your team off, and wish Zach the best of luck somewhere else. It's no bad blood. Would I love him to play for us and play at an all-pro level? Of course. If Zach Ertz is on the team and he's catching touchdowns, I'm not going to say, well, remember, I kind of wish he would still go. No, it's the here and now. Go do what you got to do, Zach. But, again, he voiced his opinion and stuff, crying after the season. It is what it is. I mean, you can't change. I mean, people get old and people change. You know what I mean? You're going to be Eagle fan through and throughout. That's what you got to hang on to.
Yeah, look, I agree. Look, after they did not re-sign Dawkins, nobody else matters to me, man. Like really, because Brian Dawkins, I've never seen an Eagle player play with so much passion and heart on his sleeve. And, he cried after we won the Super Bowl. Like, he was in tears and bawling like, oh, my God. And he's not even a player no more. But the passion he has for the love of the game and for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we cannot keep him around. And then Jenkins, he played like 99.9% of the snaps since he's been here. We couldn't give him an extra $3 million to make him stay. So, look, Zach Ertz could go. I don't care. I mean, I never was I don't have his jersey. I got McNabb, Vic, McCoy, Carson, they're all gone. It is what it is. Like, yo, I have no current player jersey because I'm afraid if I get a current player jersey, like, no lie, every player jersey I've gotten the following year, they left the team. No lie. Man, it seems like I'm always 1 year too late, or like an off-season surprise. Surprise, we cut McNabb. Surprise, Carson Wentz gets. Who thought that Carson Wentz would not be the franchise quarterback? Like,
yeah.
But look, man, it is what it is, man. Two bonus questions for you. Who wins the left tackle spot, either Dillard or Mariota, and who's our CB2? Maddox, Jaquette, McPherson, who starts if we won't sign nobody else?
I think Malata got the job. I think preaching competition all throughout the season, you got to let it be a full competition. I do think I don't like to take somebody's quotes and media sessions to heart, but Andre Dillard looks like he's going to come out and play a little bit of football. He looks like he grinded and rehabilitated, and he was in the rooms. Jeff Stoutland spoke on that day. He was in the rooms getting the same lessons as everybody else getting quizzed. He just couldn't be on the field. I saw upside in Dillard. There's a reason why we moved ahead of the Texans to get him, and the Texans wanted him. But Mailata, being so young in the game, having that I mean, still a little wet behind the ears with hand placement and foot, but just using his speed and size to literally just throw people off the blocks. His no quit mentality, going to the second level. Remember on that Quez Watkins touchdown, he blocked like 3 or 4 guys.
Yes.
If you look at what he does when the play's still going, he's still fighting, helping this quarterback up. Just a true guy. He's definitely, I think, the leader. Leading that position, but I'm not going to count out Andre Dillard because he's not going to just sit to the side. But I will give the edge to Mailata winning that. What do you think?
Mariota all day. Like, I think, hey, if Dillard don't know, look, if Dillard is not versatile, then he's going to play backup. I mean, because I think that he probably could play right guard if he trained on it, because with his physique and his talent, being drafted as high as we drafted him, I would move him to right guard, have Mariota, Dillard, Kelsey, Brooks, and Lane. I mean, who's coming through that line? So, I mean, but
left guard, you mean?
Yes, left guard. Yeah, left guard. Yeah. So, I mean, who's coming through that line? Man, I don't see a lot of teams, coming through that line. I mean, I think Jalen Hurts will have plenty of time. Yeah. And the CB2?
CB2, man, I think, look, I like Jaquette. I think he got beat up just horribly in that Cowboys game. But I did see signs in the Arizona game. I seen signs when he got some snaps, new scheme, helping him out with a guy over the top. He fits the mold in 6'1", has some physical attributes and whatnot. But I think because of experience, if the Eagles go into the season as it is right now, you're going to see Avonte Maddox probably get the first notch. When he gets cooked up a little bit, he'll do some substitutions. Yeah, man, it's scary. Avonte Maddox being your CB2. I don't know who we would have. Probably McPherson play in the slot. But then again, like I said, and knock on fake wood because this can't happen. But if big play Slay goes down, you know what I mean? Now you have a guy that you didn't trust for CB2, have to go to CB1, and the guys who couldn't beat out the non-trusted guy for CB2 go to CB2, and it's just a bad situation. You got to have some depth. I mean, Steven Nelson, a starter for the Steelers, you got to have him just in case. But I think it would be Avonte Maddox, unfortunately.
Oh, shoot. I don't think so. I mean, I think with Jonathan Gannon, that's his expertise, developing defensive back and safeties. He may not have experience as a defense coordinator, but as far as a defensive back coach and safety coach, he's top notch. So I feel like McPherson would get the notch, especially against the two.
McPherson to start on the outside?
Yeah. Look, first of all, he's bigger than Maddox, man. We see what Maddox can do. Nothing but get cooked, toast. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, what could be worse than getting toast, like, all year? I mean, and plus, you got to think of the scheme, too. We might play 3 safeties, or we might play, zone. So he may not be
And
on
there's
the
going to be a
island by
lot more
himself.
zone. A lot more zone.
Exactly. So I would put the bigger guy on the outside and put this Maddox in the corner. We've seen what Maddox could do, man. We've seen 3-4 years of Maddox, man. I'm tired of Maddox. Put him in the slot. Hey, hopefully he'll pin it on the slot. I mean, he's not.
That's a lot to ask, though, for a 4th round rookie.
But see, I think that the rounds sometimes could be overrated.
I know.
Like,
I didn't know about this guy.
Hey, what was Richard Sherman? What round was he? He wasn't no first round. He wasn't no second round. Richard Sherman was either a 4th or a 5th or a 6th round pick. He wasn't so that's what I'm saying. It take a scheme. We've seen it. Remember that guy we paid $80 million to?
Nandi.
Who?
Wait.
No, not him. He played for Seattle.
Oh, Maxwell.
Man. God damn. Maxwell got his head busted into the white meat.
Trash. Yeah.
He was trash. But in Seattle, he looked like an all-pro, oh my God, Pro Bowl caliber corner.
Because he had Earl Thomas over the top.
The scheme was different. That's what I'm saying. He
also had Earl Thomas over the top.
But now we got Al Harris. Like, we got Harris over the top. This dude led the league in interception 2 years ago. So
he was also an undrafted player.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, look.
Oh no, you're right. Listen, if McPherson gets the notch, I'm nervous, but you're still more optimistic because you just don't know about him. We know about Vontae.
Yeah,
so I'll be more optimistic.
And we know he get cooked like burnt chicken. All right, so we know that about him. So all right, hey my guy, look, I appreciate you coming through. Hey, real quick, man. Hey, my first or second live stream, man. I appreciate you sending all these people my way because all of a sudden, man, like I went from having one person watching me to about 10, and all of them was like, Philly Mike's in me. I'm like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you looking out for me, man, when I first started, man. So I will always have your back, man. Hey, that brotherly love, man. Hey, that's what Philly is about, man. You know, hey, no matter how big, how small you are, man. You always need people on your side, you know, in your corner, man. So I appreciate you coming once again to bless my channel, man. So once again, let the people know where to find you. If they don't even know where you at, I mean, because I don't know where they was at, but hey, go ahead. Tell them where to find you. It's all
good, yeah. So you can find me at the Philly Talk Podcast. Follow your boy on Twitter. I'll be talking trash when I'm not on YouTube. I'm still talking Eagles all day. But yeah, man, come follow your boy. And you will be seeing JC show. Listen, the Eagles season is just getting ramped up. I do more live streams when it's the season. So we'll be getting live streams with just me and JC. Battle Birds podcast. JC, I don't know if you remember when I used to do that heavy with Gate City and Philly Fresh. Yeah. And it's always us three, and we always like to bring someone else on. So we did that last year a lot. We were supposed to continue every weekend in the off season, but we're lazy and we got stuff to do. But yeah, so expect like pre-games, post-games, and we'll be inviting people to come on and stuff like that sort. So we will be seeing a lot of each other in this season, either supporting us and helping us cheer up because we suck, or cheering or being like, yeah, let's give them something to talk about. So hopefully we'll be rooting for the good because I am optimistic because the question marks are there. They could be bad, they could be good, but what I feel gut and research wise, I think the question marks are going to turn out to be something pretty decent.
Yes, sir. Hey, and his link is below, so click on the link. I made it easy for y'all, so you ain't gotta go searching. Just click on the link, and you'll go straight to his page. Sub him up because, like I said, he does Sixers. He talk a lot of trash. He be drinking that, that Apple Crown. You know what I mean? Hey, we be feeling good. Hey, this is what we do, man. You know what I mean? We come on here, we take our time away from our loved ones and family. You know what I mean? Try to give y'all some good content. So once again, hey, I'm on IG, Instagram, YouTube under JC Eagles Talk. Help your boy out. I'm on the road to 200, and my goal is to at least get. I'm optimistic, just like I am with my birds. At least get to 500 by the beginning of the season, which is September 12th. Hey, it is what it is. You reach for the stars, you might wait. Now, I'm not going to say, you know what? Sorry about that. Hey, but look, hey, sub up your boy, man. Help your boy out. And thank you. I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe. Mo Cash, you came in late and you are not subscribed to me. So go subscribe to me, Mo Cash. Hey, once again, hey, this is JC Eagle and Go Birds.